Yes, we're going to... Oh, thank you. Wonderful comment from Asaba all the way there. But let's start. We're not going to be starting from national football right now. We'll be starting from international football, talking about the foreign ones. Now, good news for Manchester United, their fans, the backroom staff, and even the players, as Ole Gunner Solskjear has now been put on permanent basis to be the manager of Manchester United on a 3-year deal.
Finally, Ole is at the wheel permanently.
Of course.
As usually has been their song that Ole is at
spinning the wheel right now.
Spinning the wheel, moving them in the right direction. The players are excited, the backroom staff are excited, the fans have gotten their wish. It's now to dig in and get down to do the job. It's easy when you are holding a job in a temporal position. People support you, knowing that hey, you are holding. But now that it's permanent, you get to see each other with different with targets.
We do hope that the permanent fever doesn't get them.
It's not a man with a target on his back. You can make an excuse before now that it's temporary and they might not give him total control. Okay. But now he has got total and absolute control to determine what happens.
So he can make
and he has to explain whatever happens or whatever goes wrong.
He has to be accountable for any decision he takes.
Exactly. So he has got a target on his back. The way he relates with his players will change a bit.
Of course.
At first, it might not look like that, but after a while, it will change. He will need to make recommendations to their playing styles, how the players will accept it or not. The medium with which he expresses his dissatisfaction or disapproval to some of their performances will determine how everything works. Because nowadays, we cannot lie to ourselves. We are in a generation of player power. And the players are more powerful than the coaches.
Of course.
It's the obvious truth. We've seen it over time in some of the big clubs in Europe, and it's happening all around. So those are the little elements that we need to fix in place to have a successful tenure. Of
course, big congratulations to the babyface assassin, as we do call him. Fine for Ole Gunner Solskjear over there. Now let's move to grassroots football, NPFL to be precise. Now let's see the rescheduled games that went down yesterday, and let's get results from that. We have Caterpillars against FC Fayuba with 3-0. Caterpillars having the win over there, 3 goals, holding down FC Fayuba. Well, had been unbeaten from the beginning of the NPFL season, but right now are not having it good with the NPFL. Now we do have Lobby Stars over here with Niger Tornadoes having 2-2 draw. It was a draw over there. Remo Stars against Rangers International. It's a 0, no goals.
Very interesting matches. There are scheduled matches from the Nigerian Professional Football League with some interesting movements because of some of these results.
Okay.
Caterpillars, since the return of Inyima and Wagwa, the supporting striker to Junior Lokosa, in that year they had an amazing season. He's back. His deal in Europe didn't work through, so he's now back, scoring a brace in this game, leading to before Pele scored their famous
the last
captain,
one. Okay.
Ali scored the third goal to make it 3-0. So that if Ifeanyi really come, this is the heaviest defeat for Ifeanyi
that they've experienced.
They've been losing by just arguably one goal difference basically for them. So, but this is a bit different. Lobby Stars against Niger Tornadoes. Now, Lobby Stars still have more games to play, but this one is interesting because Niger Tornadoes at some point in the game were 1 man down and they were leading 2, and they were minutes away from making an away win.
So we are giving it to Niger Tornadoes that they were able to hold their own.
Yeah, for those that watched the game, it was an inspirational because the coach played a 3-5-2 formation where he almost went away with a win at 2-1. Okay. It was a few minutes to the end of the game that Steven scored the equalizer and grabbed the equalizer for Lobby Stars. It's unheard of when you see that kind of pattern, that kind of system in Nigeria. And for a coach under pressure, he has been given 3-match ultimatum or he will lose his job. He managed to pull that against one of the top sides in the league, Lobby Stars, who are now 4th on the table for the league. Rangers are 3rd on the table. They are bringing down MFM. MFM is no longer still at the top of the table against Remo Stars. The first installment of this game that we had some days ago saw Rangers pummeling Remo Stars 5-2.
Yes.
There was an avalanche of goals in that game.
Yes.
But I was listening to Emmanuel Fabi after the game. He was happy, though they got a point in that game. He was happy that he did not concede that deluge of goals again, that he kept a clean sheet against a very impressive Rangers. And for Gubota, he talked about the quality of the pitch. And if the pitch was better for him, it was 1 point loss, 1 point gain and 2 point loss. 2 point loss because the pitch was not good enough for them to express themselves.
Okay, now let's listen to Olugbenga Ogunbote. Now we have that with the Yoruba name over there, Olugbenga Ogunbote right now. And what he had to say after the game with opponents.
Well, if I want to say, I would say 2 points. 2 points drop in the sense that 2 points drop one way, 1 point play. We were unable to play the game because of the turf. So that's 2 points lost. We devised a means of not getting home empty-handed. 1 point again. We expected it. You see, even from the second half, one thing you should know is that a team that is at the bottom of the league, battling trophy, you should expect that they'll come out to do all the best. So we expected it. We were not caught unawares, and thank God the boys were able to withstand the pressure.
Coming there from Olugbenga Ogungbote over there. Now, we heard what he said. Now, are we going to be justifying for what he has said right now after the game?
Basically, since his team left the continent, he's trying to go. His word has been for every match they played. Post-match analysis, he wants to go back to the continent. They tasted it. It was last on the continent with Sunshine Stars when they got to the semi-final of the CAF Confederations Cup that year. But basically, with the Rangers, he tasted it. They got far to the group stages before they lost out. Now he wants to go back, and he's bringing the experience of playing on the continent. And don't forget, they had massive recruitment because they were going to play on the continent. Okay. They recruited a whole lot of players so that they can balance playing in the league.
But they couldn't just make it.
They couldn't just make it out of the group stage. They made it as far as they could go. But now they have the experience. Now they are using those experienced players signed that didn't work out. At some point, there were 9 matches of beating on the continent. We have got to give them kudos basically of what they achieved. Now it's can find that experience. The league is at week 12. Okay. They've just played about 6 or 7 games. They have about 4 games and they are third on the league table. That tells you they've got a whole lot of aces up their sleeves.
Okay, now looking at the group table over here. For Group A, we have MFL leading the pack without their coach, who is on national duties, but now has returned. Now to the club, MFM leading with 22 points, Aimba with 19 points. Aimba leapt forward with 19 points. Enugu Rangers 16 points. Lobby Stars 16 points. Wiki Tourists 15 points. Kwara United 15. Katsina United 14. Then we have Sunshine Stars Rivers United on 13, sharing that respectively. Then Bello Insurance 12 and Remo Stars 12. Niger Tornadoes, they have 9 points in Group A over there. Now for Group B, we have Aqua United. I really wonder how.
Moving to the top. They're like the cream on the table, and finally they find them to the top of the cup.
Very surprised.
And the team, not surprised. They've gone about 4 to 5 matches. They've gone 5 matches unbeaten,
and they signed a lot even before this.
Opo is on 4 match streak before
and the highest goal scorer,
and the current highest goal scorer, the current assist provider, and alongside him, one of the third or fourth assist provider has got to be the Free Ekom, also plays with their team. So all those things are working in their favor.
So I think it's really working in their favor. Have given them 22 points over the El Kaneme Warriors with also 22 points. If I Uba 21 points, they were leading the pack here in Group B before.
Of course, they are that tail of the season where experience counts now. They are filled with young players and they are very few.
And it's really going to be bad for them if they keep losing matches because they'll keep going down.
They need to, and at least we talked to the early weeks form in the league where they were picking points home away without losing. They have got to go back to their clean sheet. Okay. And Jose, their goalkeeper, has got to get them back alongside his defense.
And that's the guy having the most clean sheets.
So far. But of course, the Plateau United goalkeeper, breathing down his neck. Because Plateau United are doing the job little by little. They were somewhere around their second to the bottom. Now they are finally out of the relegation.
With 15 points.
That tells about the work. They are picking points away home and away. That's how this season has been.
But there was a kind of embargo and extension on their salary. So I think that would have been a big boost.
A boost, yes. Of course, they have the commitment to play better because they are also one of the most talented squad in there. They've got Bello Ovoke, they've got Cisco.
I was really expecting much from... I was expecting much.
Coupled with one of the most talented and experienced coach in the league, Aldo Mekeba, at the end of it. I thought they should be somewhere at the top of the table. But the league is funny. They are 15 points. The difference between them at the top of the table is about 7 points. That 7 point can be plowed back in short a while with some games to them. So this
are big surprises.
Out of the 2 groups, this is the most dangerous group because most of them have played up to 12 games, unlike Lobby and Rangers in the other group, and they are having this close point. El Kaneme is silently still doing the job. That's El Kaneme. They picked the point away at Gombe on last match day, and nobody's paying attention. And they've got the veteran himself, Issa Kalawale, pulling the strings from the midfield, getting that lone goal in that game against Gombe. So it's getting interesting. We are not paying attention to them, but they are getting the job done nonetheless.
Of course, get the job done. That's what it's all about when we talk about club football and the NPFL. Now let's look at something happening here as we see that Onazi has returned to training. Oh, good one for Onazi, who has been injured for a very long time. But the good thing here is that everybody loves the fact that he's back. Now, talking about everybody still loving the fact that one is back. Everybody's still talking about Paul Onuachu and his wonderful goal for Nigeria and his second cap for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, being the fact that he has scored a lot of goals and fans are still talking. Let's look at what a lot of fans are saying here. Now, from FC Midtjylland, they have to congratulate him, telling him, oh, well done on that wonderful goal you got for Nigeria there with that split second. Come on, that's wonderful, big one. Congratulations to Paul Onuachu over there. Now, looking at here right now, we did speak to Paul Onuachu in Asaba there, where the Super Eagles were launched, and he had a lot to say. Let's listen to this report, and when we come back, we'll be talking more in the beautiful world of sports.
Og vi bliver bare en større og større klub. Tænk, hvad vi har nået på 20 år.
In an attempt to bolster the Super Eagles' attack, Gunner has replaced Kelechi Iheanacho with the FC Michelin hitman Paul Onuachu. Belatedly, some may say Onuachu finally has the opportunity to introduce himself to the Super Eagles fans as well, after being handed a maiden call-up for Nigeria's games against Seychelles, an African Cup of Nations qualifier, and a friendly against Egypt. The forward, making his second appearance for the three-time African champions, fired home a long-range shot with only a few seconds into the encounter, in order to help Gunner Troll's men extend their unbeaten run to 7 games.
A man with a long chain of successes as a coach. He's a very interesting coach. And that was something unbelievable.
Certainly, the plight of Kelechi Iheanacho was just 1 goal in 25 Premier League outings so far this term, contrasts starkly with Onuachu's form in recent seasons. The forward netted 18 in 36 in the Danish top flight in 2016-2017 season, 10 in 22 the season after, and already has 14 in 23 so far this term. Onuachu's goal-scoring form means he deserves his chance, while at 201 cm, he represents a different kind of options for the Eagles, the kind of alternative centre forward who can offer a plan B if defences are proven stubborn to break down.
Would be good to have a tall one, so we invited Osimhen. He can have a lot of chances also to be this one we can choice, but we want to see another one, more than 2 meters height, playing in Denmark. We scouted him, he did very well. He's here now.
In the fixtures to come, the 24-year-old has the chance to realise the potential he demonstrated in the giant killing of Manchester United, and to prove that he can be the missing ingredient in the Nigeria's attack. The vigilant striker, who is hoping to make the squad for the 2019 African Cup of Nations, has vowed to work harder in order to continue representing the Super Eagles.
My name is Paul Onuachu. I played for FC Midtjylland Denmark, and I'm a striker. I feel happy, and that gave me a little bit of boost, for myself, a little bit of confidence that the head coach, invited me to the camp. I think he called me, and he said he's been watching and hearing stuff about me that I think I deserve some time with the national team and some call up, and I was really happy to hear that, and I'm enjoying it so far here. I feel happy to hear that from the coach, and of course playing in Denmark. It's been great so far, because it's a tough league, very physical league. But anywhere we go as a Nigerian, we always try to fit in and cope. So I think if I get the chance, I'm willing to prove what I can do, and of course to make myself and the country proud, and
FC Michelin were already overachieving in the Europa League 3 years ago, when they were holding mighty Manchester United to a 1-1 draw in the round of 32 clash. Pione Sisto had cancelled out Memphis Depay's opener moments before the halftime, and the contest was in the balance, with the Red Devils showing some of their characteristic existence under Louis van Gaal. Then in the 77th minute, 21-year-old Paul Onuachu compensated for initially fumbling a dribble attempt, and then riffled a low shot to beat Sergio Romero, standing in for injured David De Gea. The young star, who left Nigerian side FC Ibrozano in 2013, has announced himself to the watching world as Michelin held on to clinch a 2-1 triumph.
Уже с Ульсном сыграл. А это Onuachu. Ну-ка, Onuachu. А дальше, о как! Вот так, и удар, и гол! Ха-ха, Onuachu! Браво!
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're on Sportshead Galaxy Television, and joining us in the studio is Ibrozano. Good afternoon to you, Adams.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you once more.
Thank you. Nice to see you too. Okay, now looking at it right now, everybody has something to say about Paul Onuachu, the wonderful goal he scored, and how he has been faring in Denmark with FC Michelin.
Absolutely, like for us who have been in this game for a very long time, the first time I watched him was like 7 years ago. Okay. And then some of the visuals that you play for our audience there against Manchester United, that game in the Europa League cost the Manchester United coach a lot of big headache until they turned the game around. So he's been a young guy who's been knocking on the door. So I'm not surprised that he took his opportunity with aplomb. I and Enitan spoke about the guy creating memories proud to the game, and he lived up to expectations. So we are all salivating about the whole goal, not just them, not just the fans, but even we can't exhaust because the plaudits and applauds are just in manifold ways.
Do you have accolades for Paul Onuachu?
Definitely so. He's one of the most consistent Nigerian players in Europe in terms of scoring. If you check his stats in the last 2-3 seasons, scoring an average of 14 to 15 goals per season consistently. You know, he's between. He will always be in double figures. Let me put it that way. Always been double figures for you in a season, and that tells you when you start doing the averages, maybe 1 goal in every 2 games or thereabout, depending on the number of games he plays per season. And he still has. He's surpassing his best feat already this season. And he still has some more games to go to the end of. So that tells you a lot about the mindset of the young man. I was going to say, look away, Manchester United fans, when that video popped up, when he was about to score, he really made, he really showed a whole lot of character in that game. Remembering that game all over again. That was the season Manchester United won the Europa, defeating Ajax in the final. But in that game, he brought Manchester United to their knees right there in Denmark and gave a good account of himself, out of the 2 Nigerians that featured in that day. So it's someone we are looking forward to. Tactically, it helps the Super Eagles to switch the kind of games they are playing because of what it brings to the table. Long legs, height, and ability to hold the ball or shield the ball. Basically, it makes it very interesting.
Okay, now looking at this now, this places a threat on the position of Kelechi Iheanacho. Kelechi Iheanacho was not called up for this friendly and the last phase of the qualifier, that's talking about the game against Seychelles. Now, is this a big threat? We have Osimhen. Osimhen had a hat-trick for the under-23 when they had to face Libya. Now, this is big trouble. Is this big trouble for Kelechi Iheanacho?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good development, but, you know, Kelechi Iheanacho is not an out-and-out striker. And we were looking for a sharp out-and-out striker, a lanky one. Just as my colleague said, now we need to evolve a tactical dexterity whereby our opponents will not just read again. So this is how they play their game. Now you have a beanpole kind of striker, and you have an Igalo who can complement it. No. Igalo's place is not. Kelechi's own is highly threatened because this guy can cause nuisance to the opposing defenders and then create opportunities for his colleagues.
Not just a threat to Kelechi, I also think it's a threat to Igalo, depending on the tactics the coach wants to employ. Now we are having exciting wingers. There is Onyinyechi finally coming to his own. Moses Simon is back. With the speed, Moses Simon is back.
There's the Musa who can also play there.
Then Jamilu Collins also playing. Look at the pull-out he did in that game.
Jamilu Collins in the game against Egypt was not. He didn't do really well. No, we're not impressed about the number 3 over there.
He played better than the right fullback in that game. Depending on the game they are watching. So from the game against the Seychelles to the game against Egypt, I think finally I've seen one of his best performances in an Eagles shirt till date for those 2 games. Out of the wing backs, even the wingers, he had the best crosses in the game. That can be put to the fact if you look at the game all over again for a fact. So what I'm referencing, basically mentioning, is the fact that you have a tall striker, you have players who could utilize the wing. Sometimes you can switch from playing from the wing when you are being found out to playing to a centre man that holds the ball. The wingers can always run off him. And then if you want to do a double threat, you can basically do an Igalo and Onuachu together, where, like you mentioned days back, reminiscence of what Igalo had with Troy Deeney at Watford, where somebody shoots the ball and drops the ball for Igalo to run off. They're taking attention away from Igalo and freedom for him to have that record goal scoring run in the English Premier League for him. Basically, all that can be the main ingredient that will drive the national team forward, knowing that we have different options to change and switch our tactics that no team can determine where we are coming from.
And just to add to what he said, there's an aspect of the whole thing now that I'm liking. You can even play Jamie Collins as a wing back to create extra options. Now you have, that means we'll cage everything. The defenders, you might even have a 3-man back line, then you bring out the best in the team.
Okay, now looking at this now, we did act in a troll that his search for players now, is it stopped? Has he closed that door for more players to come in? He said, of course, yes, he has possibly maybe closed the door, but that does not mean that other players will get relaxed and then say, okay, the door has been closed, meaning there's no threat to my position. I'm in and I'm in forever, you understand? Now, looking at this right now, do you think in a troll should still look for more, strikers?
If I get the exact words, he has got a pool of strikers to work with now. Basically, so there is Igalo
on that position. More search.
So yeah, the battle is on already in that position. Kelechi is threatening. Igalo is there. Onuachu is there. According to him, I did hear that word. I said he's close for scouting for players to invite, but he'll still be scouting for players for the national team. Basically, some players will be invited after the Nations Cup to beef up in case the likes of Igalo will be winding down their career after this Nations Cup. Yeah. I don't think he has another Nations Cup or World Cup left with his age. I'm not predicting his future. He can always may prove me wrong and continue playing very well and getting the attention of the national team coaches. But a lot of players might be leaving the national team, so some of the young lads will step in afterwards. So the scouting have got to continue, which is wise. But for now, for maximum concentration and impact at the Nations Cup, he has got to close that option of inviting extra players. We should not fall for the same thing we fell for and going to the World Cup where we saw Simeon Wanko banking in some overhead kicks, about 2 or 3. Suddenly he's the Messiah. Then we are using it and battling ram. It was the battling ram. He couldn't battle any ram at the World Cup. I didn't even get to play until maybe last group game like that. Basically, so he should concentrate on what he has, perfect the styles and the techniques he wants to apply, and then let's move forward from there. Okay, now that's all we can take for today. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show. We appreciate your presence. Okay, now it's Sport Galactic Television, and I am Onyinyechi Ogu. Do have a pleasant afternoon. Audio Jungle.